welcome to Game Energy. I'm Josh. This is the lovely Lana.
Oh, you keep calling me lovely. I don't think that means what you think it means.
Oh.
Because you're describing me with the word lovely.
It's probably true. There's actually a massive amount of burps you let out like 4 minutes ago that actually might be in the episode right now. It's a lot of flavor. Hey, you just brought me to Flavor Town? You showed me around?
All right, is future Josh gonna let's go ahead
They
and put all
probably
my
have
burp
just
noises
seen
in.
it, yeah. We're coming back from it right now. Anyway, let's go ahead and play some more Pokemons. Right. I was totally falling asleep before, but now I am.
Yeah, we pumped him full of energy.
Yeah, bean water. Let's see if it helped. Sonia. The Hero's Bath. They say this is where the two heroes came to soothe their wounds after the battle to bring... Yes, it's a dick joke.
What? No, I was just thinking about that two guys chilling in the hot tub 10 feet apart because they're not gay. Just soaking in there.
Nowadays, only Pokemon really use the Hero's Bath, though. Who exactly were the heroes that bathed here? And I wonder if I can still drink the water while I taste them. I think I'll have to look into that.
Taste the heroes.
Taste their heroic essence. You two met a mysterious Pokemon back in Somewhere Land. Perhaps you two can become new heroes.
Oh, hell yeah. That sounds about my speed. I don't know about this guy, though.
What? Who the hell are you talking about? Like some hero waving around a sword and shield? Pull the other one. What? Pull the other one.
Pull the other?
Pull the other one.
Pull the other one.
No, I guess I'd fancy a shield if I had to take my pick.
Really? I would want a sword.
I know.
The best defense is a good offense. You know? They can't stab you if you stab them first.
What if they have a shield?
They can't shield you if you stab them first.
What kind of battle do you think the heroes had back then? Probably just like, Pokemon, use stick.
Oh yeah, well I'll show you Pokemon to use rock.
Yeah. Pikachu!
And then later, 36 years later, Pokemon use bronze.
Good one.
Did you?
Bronze
really?
Age.
Really? Yeah, you got it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. 36 years or 36,000 years? Why
it's
don't
unclear.
we show her, Twiggy? We can pull off a real heroic battle. We won't. You suck.
Yeah, he sucks so bad.
I do like your leggings, though.
I'm gonna, I can't remember.
They healed you.
Oh, they did? Okay,
After you finish a battle.
Cool.
Gym battle, they heal you.
Oh, sorry.
Curry. I feel like I've got the energy to wrestle a Biwar.
I've got a new name, and it is Curry.
I don't entirely understand your reasoning, you dumb shit. But I might as well just see what you can do. If it's gonna be a pissing contest, it might as well be in the cold. I'll heal up your Pokemon for you, Twiggy. Here, just for done. Everyone has that power but you.
Yep, unfortunately. I mean, I kind of do. It just takes longer.
A billion potions? Yeah, that's true. I did buy like 1,000 freaking little like minor healing potions.
Whoa! We'll lose better.
Alright, kick his butt.
Excuse me.
I'm counting on you, partner.
That's not how you sound.
It is when he puts on his accent.
Oh.
When he's remember he's British, but if there's ever an American adaptation, you gotta make him sound like he's from the Wild West. Because that's all of America, right?
Wow, I wonder if that's how must be really slow because
yeah. I wonder if that's how the like other countries view us as everyone's just from Texas.
That probably is about right.
You know what I mean? Like when we think of England,
that when you watch anime, you know, like it's always like every character that's
yeehaw, kippy-i-yay.
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 Kippy.
I'm gonna double down on it. Well, it's like when you think of like London or Great Britain or whatever. I just said it. You think of London. You don't think of like what other place in London is there, or the Great Britain.
I mean, like
England, whatever. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see. I get what you're.
I'm immediately messing up all of this.
Yeah, okay. Well, you've actually been there, right?
Yeah, I went to London.
Did you like it? Did you enjoy it?
It was good. I think we were there for a week. I think I saw the sun once for like 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty gray otherwise.
That sounds terrible. That sounds like a lot of seasonal depression for me.
Yeah, you should probably get like a bright yellow light or some crap to stare at.
Oh, that sounds good.
Well, you know they make those, the sad lamps. Indoor.
How dare you just call it a sad lamp? There's something funny about like, I need light to feel good. And you're like, get a sad lamp, you sad sack of crap.
Yeah. Heal your depression with a sad lamp.
I get it, but stop buffeting my Sylveon with a hail. What the hail?
What the hell?
Okay, let's see. Who do I want?
Dirtfoot at least once, right? Because he's got the lucky token.
Yeah.
Which means you'll double your money.
Is it double?
Yeah. They'll pay out twice. That's what I'm saying. Like, I always, like, whatever my lead Pokemon is, my lead Pokemon always has that item. Because, like, yeah, I'll be rich for free. You know?
Yeah, the amulet coin.
All right, hang on. How does this, like, mechanically, or, like, how does this socially work? Mm-hmm. Right? Like when they're like, oh, okay, you won. Here's $36. You like, no, I got this coupon for twice that.
It's like, damn it.
I'm like, oh, sorry, here. It's like, let me get my calculator out. I can't do this math in my head. And you're like, it's 72. 6 times 2 is 12. 3 and 3 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. Duh, 72. It's really easy. Do you want me to add tax onto that?
Wait, I've beaten Rillaboom before. Why does it not show me what's good?
You probably did it with a different Pokemon that didn't have the moveset.
Alright, well. Ooh.
Yeah. I was talking about habits before I fell asleep last episode. Do you want to hear more about those? Do you think they do? Do you, though?
Yes.
I don't want to just mansplain habits for 15 more minutes. Actually, literally for 15 more minutes. I never started the timer.
Oh, very nice.
Yep.
That's fine.
Dicking around this whole damn time.
What is the lady equivalent of dicking around?
Clitting around?
Nah.
No.
It's not a good analog. I'm gonna pluck. Give me your shit.
Pussy willowing? Pussyfooting. Pussyfooting about.
No, that's different.
That's
it means
pretty good,
something
though.
different. I like it.
I like it.
But pussyfooting definitely means like walking on eggshells.
Is this the charge that I was supposed to avoid? For the internet thing for the Switch?
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, all right.
I like how it's Nintendo Americas.
Yeah, it does do that.
Drill peck.
All right,
How
cool.
dare you? He used a potion?
Oh yeah, he starts doing that now.
Bad form.
Bad
It's
form.
fine. I'll still destroy him.
No, he uses another potion and you're just stuck in a standstill for the rest of the time.
He'll run out of potions eventually.
Yeah, he will.
Or he'll get hit by hail and die.
Loser.
I love it.
So...
What were you trying to say? You were trying to say something about habits.
Well, I was going to say something about habits. Like, I would highly recommend look into, there's 2 books that I read. Atomic Habits is fantastic. Mm-hmm. I like how it compares it to,
what in the... Pinchurchin. Okay, it's an urchin pine pin. It's a pin urchin.
It is. All right, hang on. Atomic Habits is great. I like how it relates it to money and personal finance and compound interest.
Okay.
And then the other one I really enjoyed was something called The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, D-U-H-I-G-G. That one was really good too. I think the most helpful part though is probably at the end. Mm-hmm. The rest of it's sort of like, here's a bunch of examples, but what was the last bit? Oh, the last bit is how the author describes, here's a technique or a system you can use to change your habits. Mm-hmm. And it involves like recognizing, well, first pick like a habit you want to change.
That's an electric Pokemon. Didn't even know that till
this
this moment.
spiny thing? Yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah, that sounds right. Electric water? something like that.
It's an interesting combination.
Right? Makes sense.
Well,
There's
it
some
makes
water
this
electric
a terrible
things.
idea for me to use this bird.
Yeah, probably. What was I saying? Oh, right. So, basically, you find a habit you want to change. The author uses the example of every day he goes to the cafeteria and gets a cookie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at some point during the day, he's like, I don't want to do this. I'm getting fat. This has to change. So he wrote down, like, what was it first? It was figure out what the reward is. So, like, you have to design a series of similar behaviors that we'll see if you get a different reward out of it, right? So when you feel the craving to get a cookie, do something else. Not anything random, but like something specific. Like, so for him, he was wondering, okay, I could just want a cookie, or I could want some other sweet, or I could want social interaction, or just a break from my desk, or something. So like one day he went for a walk. The other day he bought like a donut instead of a cookie. A different day he bought or he went and chatted with some employees instead and skipped the donut. There was a whole bunch of different things, not donut, cookie. And he tried to figure out which one was working. Like, do the thing, set an alarm for 15 minutes, and then come back to it and then see if you still want the thing or not. If you do, then that's a pretty good indication that whatever your craving is, like whatever the reward from the original habit, has not been fulfilled. So you need to find something else.
Gotcha.
And then the second part is to figure out what the cue is. So to do that, you can basically, whenever you get the itch to do, to start the habit, when you get the craving, whatever it happens to be, you got to write down, like, where are you at? What was the thing you were just doing? Who, like, what are the people around you? That kind of stuff. There's more in the book. I don't remember all of it, but you write down all those things. Do that over a few days, what time it is, and then you'll start to see like a pattern emerge. For him, it was the time. It always happened between like 3 and 4 p.m. So mid-afternoon, he got itchy for a cookie, and then he'd go down and get it every day around that point. And so after all this is said and done, he figured out that his trigger was like 3 to 4 p.m. And what he actually craved was social interaction. Turns out he would go down and get the cookie, and then on his way back up would eat it with like some coworkers while he was chatting about shit. So he just got rid of the cookie, and at 3:30 every day started going to find a coworker who was kind of taking a break, and he'd chat with them for 10 minutes, and then he'd get back to work, and he was fine. Fix the cookie problem.
All right.
So the end of that book, whatever that book was called, The Power of Habit. Yeah, The Power of Habit. The very end of it's fantastic. You can read the cliff notes. The book's still a good read, but that's the bulk of it. And I think the author of that book also wrote another one called Smarter, Faster, Better, which I've been reading, which is so far pretty good too. But the point of all this, the reason I'm interested in it, is habits are like, it is said that they are 50 or more % of everything you do every single day.
Wow. Where does that number come from?
I'd have to look up the studies, but the idea is that your brain is trying to conserve as much energy as possible. And so whatever it can turn into a habit, it'll do that, right? So like every time you get on a bike, you don't need to relearn it because you learned it once, and then part of the brain that creates habits is storing that information so you can withdraw it at any point. These habits can be very simple to, I always put on my left shoe than my right shoe, or highly complex like driving a car. Like most of the activities of driving a car are habituated. You just need higher level functions for handling surprises, right? Like if someone slams on their brake or cuts you off, or if like a street is shut down and you got to take a detour or something like that. For the most part,
So
you can
activate that. What is it called? Just the common knowledge part of your brain.
Yeah, there's a specific part for habits specifically. Like there was a guy, here was one of the examples they gave. There was a guy who had it It wasn't a stroke, but he had a medical incident occur to him, and then she is pawing directly at my dick. She's making biscuits on your nuts. Yeah.
Hi, the void.
All right, settle.
She needed some.
Oh, let me read Sonia's line real quick. Seems like you finally shook off the gloom. Leon. Worry if Hop wasn't feeling all right. As his rival, you wouldn't like it either, right? See ya. No, suffer.
Bye. Abandoning you yet again.
Whatever. Anyway, so this guy had some sort of a medical issue happen and then lost his memory. Mm-hmm. And he couldn't retain long-term memory. Like he was kind of stuck, like in, 50 First Dates? But he'd get stuck in a loop where he couldn't remember anything past like 2 or 3 minutes. So he'd go to the doctor's office and he'd be like, wow, that's a really fancy computer there. Like, can you imagine back in the day when those used to take up a whole room? And then like 8 minutes later, he'd be like, wow, that's incredible. That computer is so small. They used to take up a whole room. He'd just go on and on and on loop. At one point they asked him, hey, can you describe to me this, like the house that you're living in, that you've been living in for a while? He's like, no, not really. I don't know where anything is. And they're like, can you draw us like an outline of the floor plan? Or like kind of point out where the different rooms are? He's like, no, I can't. And they're like, okay, can you, like, what do you do when you're hungry? And he got up and he walked into the kitchen, grabbed a snack out of the pantry, came back down and sat and ate it. Mm-hmm. So he had the part of your brain that stores memories is different from the part of your brain that stores habits. And so that part of his brain was still working to the point where they had him do a shape puzzle where they had two shapes on like a board and he had to pick one and it lift it and it would say whether or not that was the correct shape to pick. And he had like 30 pairs of these shapes and they always appeared in the same order, one to the left, one to the right, and in the same combination. And after months and months of doing this trial where he would never remember the previous experience, it got to the point where he would be able to correctly guess like 80% of the shapes, like the pairs.
But it wasn't really guessing.
No, it wasn't.
That it was making it into long-term habits due to the way that memories work.
And he was so confused. He's like, how am I doing this? He was getting all of them right. He's like, how the hell? I've never done this before. Like, how am I doing this? It's very strange. So the point being is that the brain is trying to conserve energy, and the pathways that it uses to write habits, they don't go away. Like, once you form a habit, you can pretty much keep it for life and turn it back on when you need it, which is really helpful if like you need to drive a car after not having one for a decade or ride a bike if it's been 15 years. But it's it's like a less good thing if you're someone who quit smoking for 8 years or has a gambling problem, because as soon as that trigger comes back, you're going to go through that routine. Like it's really hard not to do it. Which is why in The Power of Habit, he was explaining, don't just try to not do a routine. You got to do something. When the cue happens, you've got to go through a loop of some kind, and then you get to pick your reward and you get to pick the loop. So as long as you can pair good rewards and loops with a good cue, and they fulfill the original desire that your brain was sort of trying to get, then you'll be fine. Like I've been messing with food lately for my own habits, where I would have like the cue of, oh, I'm kind of bored right now and I want to eat some candy. Like I've got a coworker who's always got a bowl of candy on her desk and you can basically take as much as you want. And I just like, sometimes I'd go over there every day and grab like 8 little pieces of candy, and not like 8 M&Ms, like 8 different fun-sized Kit Kats and Snickers and crap. And I eat them all and then feel like hot garbage. So instead what I've been doing is I ever get that kind of craving and I'm not full, but I'm not hungry, I'll just go ahead and eat a real meal. Like just the whole thing. Like I'm like, okay, I'm going to take lunch early and just do it. And then I find that if later I'm like, oh, I kind of want a cookie or something, I'm like, I'm full. I'm actually not in the mood. It's weird.
So you've been filling yourself up so that you're full enough to go, nah, I don't want a dessert.
Well, the trick is to eat the real meal, right? And like to have like portion control is still important. Like I'm not overeating. I'm just eating like a proper, decent sized, cooked, good for you meal. And then I won't snack on shit. Because before, when I was trying to diet or change or alter my nutrition, I would just see if I could, how many hours can I put between me and my last meal? Let me try and stretch that out. And that's stupid because then I'm resisting the reward and the cue and all that crap. So instead I'm like, no, I'm actually just going to do it. I like eating. Like, let me just eat and see what happens. And that's been working so far. It's been like 2 weeks. Anyway, so highly recommend you check out those books. They're fantastic. And habits are dope, yo.
Well, I'm going to be reading the little thing you gave me.
Yeah, because I did a summary of Atomic Habits, and it was really thorough. So I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think.
Well, I'm done.
Yeah. Good. Tell me about it. You haven't already read it? I just gave it to you today, so I don't know what you're...
I haven't. I need more time to do the things. Well,
I don't need your excuses. I need results.
So mean.
All right. Let's go ahead and end it here. Since all I've done was talk about habits, I'm sure this is going to be the most watched episode. But first, I want to look at this dumb Cramble-Lot. Look at how stupid it is.
Not even a little bit Cramble-Lot.
It's Cramble-Lot. Look, Cramble-Lot.
Dummy.
Cramble-Lot. All right,
I'm just going through and, like right now I'm just I'm going to be capturing some Pokemon and so on and so forth. But
you want to do make up something?
Sure.
For the outro?
What are you thinking?
I'm just trying to think of random Pokemon things, like either items or I can make up a Pokemon itself. Snowflake.
All right. What is a Snowflake?
It's a snowflake with hands that just all of its moves are hand-based flicking attacks.
All right.
Like,
Ow.
It's super effective.
I thought it was going to be like, ooh, he eated something? Did you see that? Look.
He got a fish.
What? What? All right, what is happening?
I don't know what to tell you.
He dove and then he got a fish? Is he going to eat the fish? This is a weird... all right, I'm up for figuring this out together. What is, what's this Pokemon's gimmick? I don't know what to tell you. You really
taste
the enemy.
Taste the enemy. Do it.
Lick him. Oh, he throws the fish at you.
Wow.
What?
You're supposed to eat the fish. You dumb Crembrant.
What? That's so funny. I can't believe it barfs fish at you. What an interesting concept.
Yeah, that is weird.
That's unexpected.
All right. We love you all. We're going to see you next time.
I'm going to invent a Pokemon that barfs fish at you. That's the coolest. Gosh. But anyway, yeah, bye.
Bye.